spoken at the beginning of time. At the dawn of time, they still spoke holy language. In other words, the language that animals could understand, animals could hear. And he said, I would wake up and I would hear them songs, singing.
Yeah.
I would hear them talking. He said, at first I thought I was being ghosted. And I ran to my grandma and I told her, and she laughed at me. And she said, they must like you. She said, they feel comfortable in talking about it.
That's so nice.
But it was interesting to hear his perspective, how he understood stone so well. He said, when these sounds, when that rock accepted that sound, it was under this condition, under the heat, under the coolness, or whatever. And it recorded, it held that sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't release that sound for maybe 1,000 years, maybe 10,000 years, when the optimum conditions, everything is just right. Same condition that it recorded it, it releases it, and you'll hear those voices. He said, but this has been going on for 16,000 years.
Yeah.
He said, so there's a lot of overlay of voices, and you made that same voice will not be released again for another 1,000 years, maybe. Which really further piqued my interest about rocks.
Oh gosh, yes.
I would hear him, and it was all magic to me. It was just tremendous information.
What was the name of this Coulee, and what was there a story for the formation of Moses Coulee?
We call it Choch.
Okay.
In Rock Island, Choch. It has to do with the sound of the air moving over the rock.
Oh.
Oh
wow.
And Choch is the sound of air moving over water and stone. Moses Coulee was formed in the 3 eras ago. We live in this house made of dawn, where seeing is believing. The house made of light, the house made of dawn. And there's been 6 houses, as they call it, 6 houses, 6 levels of existence that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
This was 3. We're in the 6th or the 7th. We're in the 7th house. So it was the 3rd house.
Okay.
This was created. And the creator made this one before he made the others. Before he made Dry Falls, before he made the Scablands, he created this one.
Interesting.
So that's our belief in it, at least.
But nothing specific about water coming through here, or anything specific about developing this.
There was at one time, this was a lake in here. They said there was a lake.
Yep.
And before Spexman was created, it's a time when Spexman was created.
Okay.
Spexman swam in this lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rock shelters that go back to old-time people. First man, or first ancestors, as Grandpa used to call them.
Mm-hmm.
First ancestors, when they came through here and it was barren. Everything had been leveled, and they came through. And there was nothing, there was no trees, nothing to create shelter out of. And so they used these rock shelters. So 16,000 years, 14,000 years ago. And they stayed in them. We hid in the holes. He said we hid in the ground like wild animals. Because we were wild animals. So I love that.
Well, me too. It's just to have a canyon without a river in the bottom of it. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty rare.
It is, isn't it?
Pretty rare.
old-time people used to close off that end of the canyon with brush and stuff.
Oh, really?
And this was all a corral.
Oh,
It was a corral all the way
kidding.
up. Yep, all the way to Jameson Lake. They just kept all those little exits out, and there was just thousands of heads of horses in here.
Horses, really?
Talked to some of the farmers, some of the early homesteaders out here, and they would talk about finding remnants, bones and stuff that they would uncover. Entire, like bands of horses caught, probably in snowdrifts, that would perish. And so they would find all these in these little arroyos along here. They would find just piles of bones. When Douglas Creek would flood, cut through. Now this is a beautiful spot.
Well, in a place like this, it's easier for a guy like me to see the spiritual nature of it because it hasn't changed all that much. So many of these other places have been so manipulated that it's so hard to go back.
When you look at this, you realize just how puny we are.
Yes.
How weak. When you look at the strength of this land, when you fly over it, just realize how little of a dent we've actually made in this.
Yeah.
We're pretty weak. It's totally protected from wind. This was a wintering ground, a winter's village, and so is this one up here. And I think there was something of a hierarchy here. Oh, they live down there.
Okay.
Or they live up there.
Yeah.
They live up there.
Right.
Forced to live up in the wind. See this little knob here?
Yep.
Right up on top there. There's a flint knapping place.
Is there?
Right there. With all that flaking basalt. Somebody sat there for centuries.
What are they hunting through here?
Back then it was pronghorn antelope, elk, Tulululum, they call it Tulululum, where they drove the bighorn sheep down the draws.
Oh.
And that's one of the areas we're going to.
Okay.
It was a deer drive. The old cairns, the old berms are still there. Okay, now let's shoot out. We got
Yep.
daylight's a burning.
Yep.
I will tell you this is one of the best root gathering areas. So when I take my tours up there through the springtime, I take the people out right up on top here, and I let them get out, and I show them the roots and stuff, and I give them a pacha, a digging stick, and show them, and so they all dig some roots. Then I take the roots home. That's how I get my root digging done during the springtime.
You're smart people.
Coyote. Mark Twain and Coyote rolled into one. But we usually park our bus right here by the gravel pit.
Oh, okay.
Then we walk out, we spread out. This is incredible for camas, for Indian carrots, for chocolate tips, for bitterroot. It's all here. That's the reason that encampment was down there. They wintered there. Then the first hints of spring, like now, the bitterroots will start popping up. In about a week, you'll see bitterroots throughout here. Well, then there's about a week later, I was up here, and I was out here digging, and this boy shows up from out of nowhere, and his family owns the little farm here.
Okay.
And his dad had gone by and seen me out here digging, and so he tells his son, and his son comes up, and he's about 15 or 16. You want to know what I was digging for? And I told him. He said, "Oh, that's so cool." He said, because when we got this place, they used to tell stories about the Indians who would come out here, old stories of Indian people who would come out here and dig. He said, "I finally seen one doing it." It's true.
Yeah, you're a living history book.
So he spent the afternoon. He came back and he got a garden weasel and he brought it up and he started digging roots with me. God, I filled up a 5-gallon bucket.
I'll bet you
because
did.
of him. I said, so what are you going to go into farming when you get older? He said, no, my dad doesn't want me to farm. He said it's a short-lived. He said, farming isn't what it used to be. They own this. That's his grandfather's place. He said, but farming is becoming corporate. He understood enough.
Yeah.
There's some incredible archaeological sites and Clovis points, everything. The old stories, the Middle Kingdom stories.
Okay.
When the animals went to battle over mankind, the fate of mankind was still in the air. Will he become a daytime animal or a nighttime animal?
Yeah.
And Coyote gives them this game, Lahal, in which they would play daytime animals on that side, nighttime animals on this side. Gave them each a set of bones, one marked and one blank. And it was a game of I'll match you, you match me. I got both bones now. Now you have to guess again which one's the unmarked one is. And every time you miss, I get one of your sticks, which represent one of your people, one of the nighttime animals.
Wow.
Those who acquire all the sticks and the songs from the opposing tribe, or the opposing
Excuse me.
will win the fate of man.
Excuse me.
God bless.
Thanks.
Do that 3 times. It's in God's hands, not mine. I can't help you after that. And they played day and night, day and night. Finally, they just, they couldn't sing anymore. They couldn't play anymore.
Yeah.
And so man became both a daytime and nighttime animal.
Oh.
But he's given songs that he has to sing. You can't move through. You get up in the morning, you sing the prayer for, it's your daytime or morning song. Then at night, if you're going out again, you sing again. We call them traveling songs, nighttime traveling songs, because you're entering a different world and you're asking for consent. So you just let them know as the sun is going down like this, it's important because now becomes their time. You have to show them, plus the spirits, people who've gone on, who were killed at night, who died at night. See those 2 points there?
Yeah.
That's what's it called? It's called anyway, it just means the watchtowers, the watch points.
Oh, no kidding.
And that's where the animals from the daytime and the nighttime came, and they stood and they looked at each other and they started shooting their arrows. Arrows from the light were flying. Arrows from the night were flying. The war began, and Coyote finally said, "Oh, was that it? That was it. That was the road.
That field station road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's there's a canyon up there.
Anyway,
I was telling this story to one of the archaeologists. So she went up there, and it's just littered with every type of projectile point you can imagine.
You're kidding me.
She says, it's true. She goes, so her curiosity was, she came onto this side and checked, and sure enough, it's littered. She said, it's as if the battle had actually taken place. I said, what do you mean, as if? What's this as if shit? It did happen. Why would all that shit be laying there?
Classic.
I know, it's like I open my mouth and my inner grandpa falls out. Moses Coulee Field Station, that's it. Land Trust. The Nature Conservancy of the state of Washington. I love this. Look at that. Or just on the other side of that, there's a lake.
Well, there is.
Yep, Stink Lake. See, all of this stuff is real. It's just that I have to bring people out here. All these stories are connected. And they even connect to science. geology is just one man's biased opinion of a rock, you know. Oh, I hope we can get in. If not, we can walk the.
Yep.
We can just pull off and walk. Oh yeah, to live out here, I don't think I'd leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I would find reason to go to town when the only thing you can hear is your heartbeat.